What's up, class? Yesterday, we talked about the levels of organization of earthly systems of life, right? Well, today, we're going to talk about another type of organization. But this type of organization is based upon climate. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Earth's major biomes, which is a large ecosystem where plants, animals, insects, and people all live together in a specific climate. Northern Alaska is the Arctic tundra, for example, or southwestern Arizona is in the desert. Now, the first major biome of the world, as we just mentioned, is the Arctic tundra. The Arctic tundra is super north, around the Arctic Ocean, and is huge. It's the treeless, super cold-looking region around Antarctica where you'd imagine penguins living in Mr. Doss Loves Penguins. Now, the second biome is the taiga. Taiga is south of the Arctic tundra and stretches from Alaska way up north, all the way across North America and Europe. The climate is still pretty cold, but there are a lot of trees, such as pines and firs. This is where you would picture a moose living, or an owl. There's definitely life here. Now, the third biome is the deciduous forest. This is really fertile, and it's south of the biome we talked about previously, the taiga. When we say that this is really fertile, it means that a lot of things grow here. This is what we would consider most of the forests of the U.S. to be. They would be deciduous forests. The climate here is temperate, which means it's not too hot and it's not too cold. This is where you would imagine a deer living, or a fox. Now, the fourth biome is the desert. Deserts are areas where there is very little life because it's so dry. Scientists estimate that about 20% of the Earth's surface is actually a desert. There are two types of deserts, hot and dry and cold and dry. When you're thinking of a desert, think of Arizona, like this picture, with very few animals and plants you wouldn't see anywhere else, like cactus. Now, next are grasslands, and these are hot, kind of dry climates that are perfect for growing food. When you think of big, huge farms, you're probably thinking of a grassland. They're basically prairies. Think of Kansas, for example, where there aren't a ton of trees, but there is a ton of grass. Animal life doesn't vary a whole lot, but there are many prairie animals, like cows and pigs. Kansas, like we just talked about, is just one state over from where Mr. Doss grew up. And lastly comes the tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforests are generally right along the equator, the center of the earth, in places like Central America and South America. The Amazon is a prime example of this. It's a place where you'd imagine monkeys and toucans living, kind of like Toucan Sam, the Fruit Loops guy. They are super hot and super wet, so there's a ton of life in rainforests. Some rainforests can even have up to 15 million different types of plant and animal species. 15 million!